Let's take a couple of moments and we'll learn how to set the clock and a couple of different ways to display the clock on Pioneer's DEH-X6900BT. Even though your particular in-dash receiver may or may not have a CD slot across the top like this one, the on-screen and button operation is identical for the following Pioneer models: MVH-X580BS, DEH-X6800BS, DEH-X6900BT, DEH-X7800BHS, DEH-X8800BHS. So right now I'm on the AM/FM radio source and we want to go to set the clock. So just press in on the volume control and we want to roll along here until we find the system menu. Here's system and we'll press enter. And now I want to roll along here until I find the clock set. Here's clock set, we'll press enter. Alright, the hours are flashing, so this is 9 a.m. and as I roll across 12 you can see we change from AM to PM. And we'll make this 3:20 p.m. We click the button in to roll over to the minutes, and there we are at 3:20 p.m. Touch the button again, that takes you back to hours. Now if I go back up here a level, I can roll over to the next setting, which is my 12 or 24-hour format. If I press in on the button here, I can switch between a 12-hour or a 24-hour format. I like to keep a 12-hour format in my car. Alright, so I'm just going to hit the band button now to escape. And that takes me out to the radio source, and I have the frequency up here, but I don't see the clock displayed. So just touch the display button here, and that'll bring the clock up on the screen. And I have a number of other different display options as well. Keep touching the display button here to get different information on the screen. There's a spectrum analyzer. Here's broadcast information, and depending upon the radio broadcast, you may get information scrolling across the screen. And that brings us back around to the frequency and then to the clock. Now let's turn the head unit off. So I'm going to press and hold the source key for a couple of seconds to switch the head unit off. And now that has the clock displayed on the screen even though the music has turned off right now. If I touch the display button, that will make the system completely powered down. If I touch display again, that'll bring it back up. Touch source to bring the radio back online to hear some music. Now there are a couple of other ways that you have options to display the clock as well. So we'll press in on the volume control and we want the system menu. Here's system and press enter. Now let's roll along until we find two different displays here. This is info display and one more is the dot display. So let's start with the info display, which is the large characters that you see on the screen here. If we press in here, we can display a number of different things on the information display. And you can choose the one that works best for you here. Here's another clock display, as you can see. We have a couple of different options to show the clock, a spectrum analyzer, and a level meter. Or if you don't want to see anything in that display area at all, you have the option to switch it off. For right now, I think that we'll put the clock in that display. So here we have clock and Bluetooth information. Now I'm going to go back and roll over to the next setting, which is the dot display, and that's up on the top here where it says system. So we'll press enter there, and we have a couple of things to choose from. We can show the icon in the screen, or we can show a spectrum analyzer in the screen. So for right now, we'll show an icon in the screen, though you can choose what works best for you. Now I'm going to press the go back button a couple of times to exit out to the radio, and you can see we have the clock on the screen a couple of different times here. And as we touch the display button, things will change a little. So there are different ways that you can display the clock.